Over the weekend, I talked about how to scan for short interest using our new short interest scanner. And in that video, we set up two specific plays around CHWY and PETS, both of which had a high short interest number, so 34% in CHWY, 27.53% in PETS. So high short interest, but we saw much greater growth from the last period in CHWY. And this is where we had, looking on the charts, come up to the conclusion that CHWY is the one in which we'd like to play a bullish short squeeze type of move. And then in PETS, we wanted to try and hedge that position using something like a put debit spread or something of that sort, a little bit more stable of a strategy, but definitely bearish with the idea of hedging this fact in which we saw that there was a good amount of insider selling. So in the case of CHWY, we saw that we had the CEO selling, and this was our red flag, a reason why we wanted to hedge in the first place. And in the case of PETS, a similar story with the CFO and the CEO and president both selling. And so as a result of those two pieces of information, we were a little bit more cautious. But if we came straight to the charts here, in the case of CHWY, on the day that we did the analysis, which was over the weekend, we had latest on Friday our squeeze signal plot, which gave you that more bullish bias than, say, something like PETS, which is what we looked at using the charts, right? PETS, that same day, we were really just chopping sideways. Now, if we take a look to see what's happened since the actual date that we made the video in, just to kind of measure to see, hey, does this pattern actually work or not? In the case of PETS, we've moved up a max of 2%, but really just chopping sideways with price currently closing below what the entry was on Monday or the open for your bearish position. And then in the case of CHWY, you're up more than 12% from the point of entry. And that short squeeze looks like it's panning out so far with us breaking past our previous highs and now starting to approach the 1272, which is 50.51. Again, you can see how this combination of the squeeze signals indicator plus high short interest plus having a hedge in this case because we felt the need to have a hedge paid off in terms of having a really nice position. Another good example of this with yesterday's squeeze signal was TTD. So we had a squeeze signal plot yesterday. In fact, we had two, one on Friday and then one yesterday. And TTD was one we talked about in the weekend video as well. And if we come back to the short interest scanner here and plug in TTD as well, you should notice that that too had a fairly high short interest percentage number at 19.67%, right? With just a marginal fall. So you do expect that there's a good amount of short interest here. So if there's some signs or some life of a bullish move in TTD, so in this case, something like breaking our previous 52-week high with a squeeze, with the squeeze signals in the bullish scenario, along with the bullish market pulse, that's a handful of reasons for why you would expect a bullish scenario and this squeeze to start to pan out in the bullish direction. So that pattern, this idea of having our short squeeze signal plus the actual short interest number supporting that fact starts to become a really powerful way to find some of these moves, some of these explosive moves that we started to see once again, which I think we have been accustomed to in the past. And now we have a little bit more of a systematic process to try and find them, to try and replicate them. And especially in places where you have high short interest in multiple tickers in the same industry, you can use one position against the other to try and hedge, to play both sides of this to benefit either if we do get the short squeeze in the bullish direction, or if we get the shorts actually panning out in terms of the direction in which they've bet against, which is down and a bearish move in the actual underlying. All right, so hopefully today's video gives you a further idea or at least a recap of what some of these moves look like, what a high short interest bullish squeeze looks like, and some warning signs in which you can use this as your first scan filter, come in, plug it into the short interest scanner, and then start to make your decision in terms of what you're looking at a bullish side, what you may not be looking at, and where you'd like to dive into for further analysis. All right, hope this video helps. Good luck trading the rest of this week, and we'll see you in the next update.